Hey, what's going on? So listen, I was having this random thought about the concept of not giving up. Have you ever been there? Have you ever just kind of said to yourself, you know what, let me sit down so I don't look so awkward in front of a TV. But have you ever said to yourself, you know what, I think I'm done. Like, I think I'm finished. I want to throw in the towel. I don't feel like doing anything anymore. Hey, Kathy, how you doing? What's going on? Hi, Anna, how you doing? I love you. So listen, have you ever had a moment where you just felt defeated? Where you grinded, you hustled, you moved, you ran, and you sat by yourself for a moment and you just thought, I'm tired. You know, I had a moment, let me just be transparent. I actually just had a moment earlier today where I thought, I feel like, whoa. You know, I think about the weight of what's happening in the world. I think about what's happening in politics. I was thinking about what's happening, with my health. I was thinking about what's happening in my business and my family and my kids. Hey, Sandra, how you doing? And I thought to myself for a moment, and I'm like, you know what? It's so easy to look at the 485 things that are happening around you, and you're just like, I don't even think that I can breathe. Like, you're literally thinking to yourself, I don't think I can get out of this moment. I don't even feel like I can. Here's my message for you. Do not give up. Do not give up. I know it's hard. I know sometimes it looks impossible. I know sometimes you feel like, flip, I don't know if I'm gonna make it out of this thing. I know sometimes that you may think to yourself, there's gotta be an easier way. Or it's like, I want this cup passed from me. Like, I don't even wanna be in front of it. Let me tell you, I have had so many of those moments over the last 10 years. And one of the greatest lessons that I've learned, when I'm tired, when I feel like I'm done, when I'm emotionally strapped, when I feel like people don't get me, when I feel like people are taking advantage of me, when I feel like people are stealing from me, I feel like, you know what, I just want to be done with everyone and I want to be done with the moment. But here's my one just prayer for you. Don't give up. Sometimes we kind of have to keep going because there's moments where we have to show ourselves like what we're made of. And it's not, and I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I know it. But I'm talking about from the person, if you don't know my story, let me just take a step back. I used to wake up every day, and I can remember many days that I said, I don't want to wake up. There were a lot of days that I was like, I'm done with life. I was done with feeling. I was done with emotion. I felt frustrated. I felt upset, and I felt ashamed. I felt without. I felt sad. I just felt like life just wasn't meant for me. But as much as I felt that, sometimes I lived it. You know what I mean? Like, I lived it where I had to keep going because I had two little babies that were looking at me. They would look up at me and be like, Mom. And I'd look at them and I'd be like, I love you guys so much, but your mom is emotionally tired and strapped. And even as I share this moment, this random late night moment, and I think about those feelings, I can actually feel the tears behind me because I can remember being the woman late at night. I really wanted to be finished. I actually emotionally wanted to be done, and I would have these girls looking at me for answers. And what I wanted to just take a moment, and hey Kathy, I'm so fortunate that you just shared you've been there. It's like I almost found myself in a routine and in a moment where I just had to keep going. Sometimes you just have to keep going. And a lot of times I have a lot of peers and I've got a lot of people around me who are like, yeah, keep going, you can do it, let's just get to the end. And it's like, listen to me here, baby. Sometimes you can't see the end. Sometimes the only thing you can do is see the next couple of days. Sometimes the only thing you can see is like the end of the month. I'm gonna be honest with you. There were so many chapters in my life where I only could see like from today to tomorrow. I couldn't see the end of the month. I couldn't see 10 years down. I couldn't even fathom that. And why? Because emotionally I was strapped. Here's my message, my want, my desire, my hope, my dream, my inner thought and moment and prayer when I'm done with this for you. You keep going. Because as hard as it is to keep your head up, you have to keep going. And if you can just focus on, Kathy, I see you talking about 5 more minutes. If you can just focus on, just take a moment and think through this concept of, I just need to get to this milestone. I just need to get to this next level. I just need to keep, that's when the game changes. that's when everything becomes clear. That's when the magic starts to happen, because it's like, as much as you sit inside, you know, when you give up, right? I almost feel like when we give up, that the universe kind of responds to us in a way where it's like, man, I was right around the corner. What you needed was just 2 minutes away. It was just the street over. It's literally in the next city. I just need you to keep going. I don't want you to end this. I don't want you to stop. I don't want you to slow down. I don't want you to give up. And I don't want you to flipping settle. That's also what I don't want you to do. So my late night random rant for my family, guys, I love you so much. You have no idea. My number one dream, hope, moment, desire for you, truly, is that you hang in there. And if you find that you're in a moment, literally, as you're fighting the good fight, and you're like, Tiffany, I can't do it, I'm actually totally gonna say, reach out to me. I will respond to you. I totally will respond to you, because I want you to keep fighting, because I am fighting for you. And I want you to keep fighting because I fought. And I am so fortunate that I continue to fight and I didn't give up, because I have the most incredible, not just story, but I have the full circle. It's like God had so much purpose for me and had so much purpose for my life. And if I had given up, no one would have experienced it. And my girls would not have experienced it. And I would have been without, and there would have been so many people. It's like sometimes people ask, well, Tiffany, you know, I know everyone gets caught up on numbers and they're like, oh, well, I have 100,000 views and I have 1 million views. And I'm like, well, I don't care. What if I only have 5 views? And what if I only have 10 people who watch my video? God, if that's 10 people that I can inspire and say, please don't give up. Because coming from a person who wanted to give up always, coming from a person who tried to give up many a times, I'm here to tell you that it gets better. I didn't say it gets easier, but it gets better. And what happens is that right around that corner, there's like this magic. It's like it's a whole new you. It's parts of you that you never knew existed. I am 20 times the woman that I could have ever thought of being 10 years ago when I started my journey with 2 little girls and I wanted to give up. And the truth is that now I live a life where I feel so strong. And not that I feel, untouchable, but I feel strong on it. And coming from a place where I didn't feel strong, but you know what's even greater than that? I look at my girls who are now teenagers, and you watch them, and you'll get to meet them. They will meet them. They're 2 of the best people, best humans I have ever met, and they are strong women, and they are strong girls, and they are dreamers, and they're believers, and they're givers, and they're huggers, and they're lovers, and they smile and breathe. And if I had given up, the world would have missed out on all of that. If I had given up, they would have given up too. If I would have given up, I would have missed out on the legacy. And that would have affected generations and generations and generations to come. That would have affected people around the world, because the truth is that one of my kids could become president. One of my kids could be the person to solve, half of the country's dilemmas. One of my children could be a great healer that moves across countries and takes care of orphans or orphanages. And if I had missed out on, if I had given up, none of that would have happened. So it's like my message, my want, my deep, deep desire is I'm here to say, don't give up. For those of you who are looking for me to be perfect, it'll never happen. I just want to warn you. But what you'll always get is me, the real, honest, truth, unfiltered, the very best of what I have to offer. Because I tell you what, had I given up, I would not be here today, and I would not be able to share this moment with you. So as I thought about this late night, I thought about all the people who I know are looking around, their left and their right, and they're thinking, this sucks. My life is not what I want it to be. People are not what I believe them to be. I don't have everything I asked for. My message and my want and my true desire for you at this very moment is I beg of you, keep going. Don't give up, because there's a legacy that you get to leave behind. There's a lot of people watching you. And for me, my gosh, if I get to just talk to you, these 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 people, I know my life has purpose and it's well served. And I want you to be clear that it has the same. And you have no idea what's right around the corner. Guys, we got a march on us. It's called Onwards to Freedom. Don't you dare give up. I am rooting for you. And I love you like crazy. And I mean that from the core of me. I mean it, mean it, mean it. And I beg you, share this. Share this somewhere to somebody, because I bet you there's someone sitting around like I used to sit around all the time thinking, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.